if this is true, Phaedra played herself again. Hello lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about Angela Oakley exposing Phaedra Parks for sending the man who decided to show up, stating that he has information about Charles allegedly cheating. Now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And don't forget to share the video with your friend, your ex, your daddy, your mommy, everybody in your family, honey. Please get the subscriber counts up, okay? Thank you very much. Now, let's get into it. Angela had an interview with Carlos King where she exposed that Phaedra Parks was the one that sent the man who was trying to tell us that he had information about Charles allegedly cheating. Now, a couple of days ago, when I covered the review, was it a couple of days ago or just yesterday? Girl, I don't know. I can't keep track. Whatever the case may be, I recently did a review on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And there was this man who decided to show up to an event that Kelly was throwing and decided to be the bone carrier. So the guy talks about allegedly Charles Oakley cheating on Angela. The way it was brought, it was so tacky. It was definitely given set up. You guys know I talked about whether there was a potential that it would be production and or Phaedra Parks. Now, Angela is saying it is Phaedra Parks. Now, I have a lot of words for this. I will talk about if it's true and if it's not, right? So if it is true, Phaedra, you are dead wrong for that. There is no reason for you to create rumors if such rumors may already exist. Now, people have speculated about whether or not Charles has been cheating or has ever cheated on Angela, right? So I feel like those rumors could have just been those rumors. You did not need anybody to be the bone carrier to bring that onto the show. That is very tacky. And if you're going to hire somebody to do that, you don't hire somebody who is going to be out here exposing you. That is crazy. Plus, it's given that, have you really learned? Have you learned your lesson, Phaedra? You were on pause for a while because of the whole dungeon rumor, right? You went down in history as the person that lied on somebody to that extent. And then for you to then decide to organize somebody, if in fact you did, brought the person over to then bring a rumor, that is crazy work. And it's giving you clearly don't value your peach, or you value it too much that you're willing to do any and everything to stay on the show. Either way, it doesn't look good. People already don't like how things panned out between you and Candy. Best believe that nobody is going to be feeling you if you were actually out here exposed to have sent the information or brought the young man or paid the man to basically show up. That is mean. That is evil. Think about it. This is somebody's marriage, right? You can't just play games with somebody's marriage. And as someone who has been married before, I would expect a level of sacredness when it comes to marriage. But at the same time, if you were willing to say rumors that weren't true about the dungeon, then I guess there is nothing that you're incapable of doing. I just had hoped that she had learned her lesson and that she would not come back to be on some madness. Now, here's what I think. I feel like if it's really true, I feel like production set it all up and basically Phaedra was the fall guy. I will say allegedly, I would say it's an opinion, does not mean that it is true. But I feel like it has production written all over it. This is my opinion. You know, when there's already like a rumor in the streets, but you're trying to figure out how to bring those rumors onto the show in a way that seems like, oh, it just happened. But that was definitely not the way to go about it, in my opinion. Now, I will say that if it isn't true, it's very easy to use Phaedra as the fall guy. I say that because she was exposed for creating rumors and lying on Candy. And if you think about it in that way, then who else is it easy to dump all of that on? Phaedra Parks, because she has a history of this. So nobody is going to think twice about whether or not it is Phaedra Parks. It could even be the young man being like, maybe let me just dump it on her because everyone is going to believe me anyway, right? So I do think sometimes the obvious culprit is not the culprit. The obvious suspect is not always the actual person that did the crime. So I would just throw her a bone in there, right? Now, what I will say is I want to see the receipts. I want to see this man come out and give us some text messages, something that proves that Phaedra was the one who in fact set this up, as opposed to this person reaching out to Phaedra and then something else happening, right? And then the person deciding to show up. So I need some receipts to make sure it is clear so that we can see for certain that it is Phaedra. Now, the reason I am throwing her a bone is because it's not that I think she's not capable of doing this. It's just that I was hoping that she would not make this stupid mistake again so soon, after being away from the show for so long, only to then get back on the show. That's the bit that actually concerns me. But then again, there's something about like when you've lost an opportunity for so long and when you come back and you feel like you have to deliver. So I would not be surprised if she's like, I'll go to whatever lengths to create a storyline to bring the drama. Because apparently before Phaedra came on the show had been dry. Outside of the whole Kenya thing, they had to literally try to bring Phaedra Parks to try and revive and rejuvenate the season. So I will not be surprised if that's part of the things that she was like, they were telling her, you got to bring this on, you got to find a way to bring this in. And she's just like, all right, as long as you all protect me and I have a job, I'm willing to go to whatever extent that you guys need me to go to the extent, right? I think the thing about it is, Phaedra, I hope you know what you're doing, because let's be honest, production may hang you out to dry if this does not land well with people, with the audience. So I hope that you are covering yourself. If in fact production are the people telling you to do all of this, I hope you have it in writing. I hope you have recordings, because you may need it in the future if you continue to go down this road. This is just my opinion. If you continue to go down this road, you may need that, because you don't want to play around and end up being in a lawsuit for defamation. Okay, I'm going to read a few comments from the Bravo Shade Room. But before that, I want you guys to put in the chat, what do you think? Do you believe that Phaedra was the person who sent the guy to come and tell Angela that Charles was cheating? Let me know in the chat, or let me know if you think that Phaedra is the person that they're trying to pin this on and there are no receipts. On that note, let's read the comments together. So shout out to the Bravo Shade Room. You guys know I love me some of them. And let's read the comments, because I be loving the comments of Bravo Shade Room. It's hilarious. Now, somebody said Phaedra has a dark spirit no matter the sweet Southern Belle act. Another person said Phaedra has been caught lying on Candy and Kenya. Not to mention she went and tried to talk to Nini's sisters behind her back. She will sink to any level to sell a show. I'ma just pause there for a second. You guys remember, I literally just said, I hope it's not one of those things or something along the lines of her maybe doing productions bidding just because she wants to stay on the show. So that sounds along the lines of what this person is saying. And then someone says, and production played into it because that man was allowed to approach them during filming and seemed to have a mic on. Somebody said classless. Well, she said classless as well. Someone said, but why would Phaedra do this out of the clear blue skies? Good question. Phaedra only does crazy-ish when you come for her. Just look at her track record. It simply doesn't make sense unless there's receipts at the reunion. She would have nothing to gain by doing this. Now, I completely get that. But like I said, I agree with the fact that I want to see receipts. Bring the receipts. Let's make sure the receipts are landing. Now, Cynthia did say, was it Cynthia or somebody must have said that Angela had the receipts, or Angela came to the reunion with receipts. So if that's the case, then maybe this receipt is also one of them. And it's interesting that Phaedra has been silent so far about it. So I'm kind of curious to know, is she going to clear it up or is she going to keep quiet about it? Someone said Phaedra has a big liability. Andy ain't learned from the Candy thing I see. My thing is, I hope Portia has learned, because Portia best not be out here repeating anything that Phaedra tells her. Because if this is how Phaedra is playing the game, honey, You do not want to lose that peach. So make sure, especially if you're going to be out here paying the mortgage or whatever, you do not want to miss or lose that peach. So make sure Phaedra does not play you out of a peach. Now, somebody said, I love how untouchable Angela is regardless of the shade. Agreed. I don't think she's necessarily untouchable though. I think that she, in her house, maybe every now and then some things get to her, especially when it comes to Charles. But I think she definitely does well at presenting a certain way, which is definitely working for her this season. People who lie like that can change your person's reality or liabilities. No one should feel safe around them. I agree with that. If in fact this is truth, Portia, yeah, you can be doing your little freak frack whatever, but do not trust anything coming out of her mouth if this comes out as the truth. Then somebody said, didn't Phaedra say in her confessional or Married to Medicine that she wishes she were on the show when she was with Apollo, because those girls are more supportive of the institution of marriage rather than the girls of Rhoa? And look at what the F she is promoting on Rhoa, the attempted dissolution of a marriage. Well, we all know she inconsistent and she definitely be out here chasing a bag. So if in fact it's true, I would not be completely surprised. I think I would just be shocked that she is willing to put herself at risk again, considering how things went down with the whole Candy Dungeon situation. Now, one final comment that I'm going to read, because I think it also brings some perspective, as opposed to just being against Phaedra, it gives another balanced perspective. And you guys know I like to give balanced perspective on a matter. Somebody said, people crucifying Phaedra and we haven't seen the receipts. Bring the receipts. Guess she is doing her job with shaking things up with the girls. This has been a really good season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kudos to all the ladies who showed up at the reunion. Okay, Brett. I will say, yes, we need to see the receipts. I agree. I don't know if I would say it's been a really good season. I would say it has been a good season, but I don't think I'll put the really in front of it. Now, I think I'm going to read two last ones. Sorry, guys. I was just tickled by these ones. So somebody says, if Phaedra has learned zero, nil, nada since the Candy incident, yeah, get in the trash and stay there. Another person said, no wonder Phaedra was looking nervous when Angela said they ran down on homeboy who spread the rumor. Now, I need to go back and watch that clip because I don't remember her looking nervous. But if she was looking nervous, that would be so hilarious. Definitely so funny. Anyway, guys, that is all I want to talk to you guys about. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.